Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Surah Al-Ankabut, Ayah 35. In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the ever merciful. Recite from this book the Quran, which has been revealed to you, and establish Salah. Surely Salah keeps one away from shameful and evil deeds. And surely the remembrance of Allah, in response Allah's mention of your name in front of the angels, is the greatest indeed. Allah knows what you do. Do not argue with the people of the book, except in good taste, except with those who are wicked among them, and say, we believe in that which is sent down to us, and that which is sent down to you. Our God and your God is the same, the one God to whom we submit as Muslims. O Prophet, we have sent down this book to you, similar to that of Musa and Isa. So the people of the book believe in it, and so do some of these people of Arabia. And none but unbelievers deny our revelations. O Muhammad, you have never read a book before this, nor have you ever transcribed one with your right hand. In that case, the quibblers could suspect it. Rather, these are clear signs in the breast of those who are endowed with knowledge, and none deny our signs, except the wrongdoers. They ask, why have the signs not been sent down to him from his Rabb? Tell them, the signs are in the hands of Allah. I am only a plain warner. Is it not enough for them that we have sent down to you this book, the Quran, which is recited to them? Surely in it is a blessing and a reminder for those who believe. Tell them, Allah is sufficient as a witness between me and you, for He knows all that is in the heavens and the earth. Those who believe in falsehood and disbelieve Allah, it is they who shall be the losers. They challenge you to hasten the scourge on them. Had a time not been fixed for it, the scourge would have already come to them. It is going to come suddenly and catch them unaware. They challenge you to hasten the scourge, whereas hell has already encircled the unbelievers. On that day, the punishment shall cover them from above and from beneath their feet, and Allah will say, now taste the reward of your deeds. O my servants who have believed, surely my earth is spacious to migrate if needed. Therefore worship me and me alone. Every soul shall taste death. Then to us you shall all return. Those who embrace true faith and do good deeds shall be lodged in the mansions of paradise, beneath which rivers flow, to live therein forever. What an excellent reward for the doers of good deeds. The ones who have shown patience and put their trust in their Rabb. How many creatures are there that do not carry their provisions with them? Allah provides for them as He provides for you, and He is all-hearing, all-knowing. If you ask the disbelievers as to who has created the heavens and the earth, and subjected the sun and the moon to His laws, they will certainly say, Allah. How are they then being deluded away from the truth? Allah gives abundantly to whom He pleases, and sparingly to whom He wills. Surely Allah has knowledge of all things. And if you ask them who sends down rainwater from the sky, and thereby raises the dead land back to life, they will certainly say, Allah. Say, praise be to Allah. Yet most of them do not use their common sense. The life of this world is nothing but a pastime and play. It is the life of the hereafter that is the real life, if they but knew it. If they embark on a ship, and the ship gets into trouble, they call upon Allah, being sincerely obedient to Him. But when He brings them safely to land, they start committing shirk, giving credit for their safe arrival to others, so that they may become ungrateful for the blessing that we have bestowed on them, and enjoy the life of this world. They will soon come to know the result of this behavior. Do they not see that we have made for them a secure sanctuary in the Kaaba, while the people are being snatched away from all around them? Do they still believe in falsehood and deny the blessings of Allah? And who is more wicked than the one who forges a lie against Allah, or rejects the truth when it reaches him? Is not the hell a fitting abode for such disbelievers? As for those who strive in our cause, we will surely guide them to our ways. Surely Allah is with the righteous. Surah Al-Rum, Ayah 1. In the name of Allah, the Compassionate, the Merciful. Alif Lam Mim. The Romans have been defeated by the Persians in Syria in AD 615. The Prophet Muhammad's sympathies were with the Romans who were Christians, while the pagan Arabs were on the side of the Persians who were idol worshippers. In the neighboring land, but after this defeat, they will soon be victorious within a few years. The command lies with Allah in the past instance as well as in the future. On that day, the believers will rejoice for the victory of the Romans as well as their own victory against the pagans with the help of Allah. He helps whom He pleases, and He is the Almighty, the Most Merciful. This is the promise of Allah, and Allah never breaks His promise. But most people do not know. They only know the outward show of this world's life, but they are heedless about the life to come. Have they not considered in their own minds that Allah created the heavens and the earth and all that lies between them for a just reason and for a specified time? But the truth is that many among mankind do not believe in the meeting with their Rabb, the day of resurrection. Have they not traveled through the earth and seen what was the end of those before them? They were superior in strength than these. They tilled the soil and populated it more than these pagans have done. There came to them their Rasools with clear signs, but they rejected them at the expense of their own destruction. It was not Allah who wronged them, but they wronged their own souls. Evil was the outcome for those who committed evil, rejected the revelations of Allah, and kept ridiculing them. It is Allah who originates creation, then repeats it, and then to Him you shall be brought back. On the day when the hour of judgment will be established, the criminals shall be in despair. None of the shuraka, the gods which they had set up besides Allah, will be there to intercede for them, and they themselves will disown the shuraka. On that day when the hour of judgment will be established, mankind will be sorted out. Those who have embraced the faith and have done good deeds shall be made happy in a garden of paradise. And those who have rejected faith, denied our revelations, and the meeting of the hereafter shall be presented for punishment. Therefore glorify Allah in the evening and in the morning. All praise is due to Him in the heavens and the earth. So glorify Him in the late afternoon and when the day begins to decline. He brings out the living from the dead and the dead from the living, and gives life to the earth after its death. Likewise you shall be brought forth to life after your death. Of His signs, one is that He created you from dust, and then behold you men are scattered throughout the earth. And of His signs, another one is that He created for you mates from among yourselves, that you may find comfort with them. And He planted love and kindness in your hearts. Surely there are signs in this for those who think about it. And yet, others of His signs are the creation of the heavens and the earth, and the difference of your languages and colors. Surely there are signs in this for the knowledgeable. And among His signs is your sleep at night, and quest for His bounty during the day. Surely there are signs in this for those who pay heed. And of His signs is the showing of lightning, in which there is fear as well as hope. And He sends down rainwater from the sky, and with it gives life to the earth after its death. Surely there are signs in this for those who use their common sense. And of His signs are the firmly standing heaven and the earth by His command. Then as soon as He will summon you out of the earth, you shall come forth at one call. To Him belongs everything that is in the heaven and the earth. All are obedient to Him. He is the one who originates creation, then repeats it. And it is easy for Him. To Him belongs the highest similitude in the heavens and the earth. And He is the Almighty, the All-Wise. Surah Rum, Ayah 27. Rahim, Surah Ar-Rum, Ayah 28. We give you an example from your own lives. Do you let your slaves be equal partners in the wealth which we have given you? Do you fear them as you fear each other? Thus do we spell out our revelations for those who use their common sense. Nay, the wrongdoers are led by their own desires without real knowledge. So who can guide those whom Allah leaves astray? They will have no helpers. Therefore stand firm in your devotion to the upright faith, the nature made by Allah, the one on which mankind is created. And the laws of nature ordained by Allah cannot be changed. That is the standard of true faith. But most among mankind do not know. Turn in repentance to Him, fear Him, establish salah, and do not be of the mushrikeen. Those who divide their religion into sects and become separate groups, each group rejoicing in its own circle. When an affliction befalls a people, they turn in prayer to their Rabb in repentance. But when He lets them taste a blessing from Him, lo, some of them start committing shirk, showing ingratitude for what we have given them. Enjoy yourselves. Soon you will find out your folly. Have we sent down to them an authority that speaks of the shirk which they are committing? When we give mankind a taste of blessing, they rejoice. But when some evil afflicts them because of their own misdeeds, lo, they are in despair. Do they not see that it is Allah who gives abundantly to whom He pleases and sparingly to whom He wills? Surely there are signs in this example for those who believe. O believers, give what is due to your relatives, the needy, and the traveller in need. That is best for those who seek the pleasure of Allah, and it is they who will attain felicity. That usury which you give to increase the wealth of people does not increase with Allah, but the zakah that you give to seek the pleasure of Allah shall be repaid to you many times over. It is Allah who has created you, that provides you your sustenance, then He causes you to die, and then He will bring you back to life. Is there any of your shuraka, gods you have set up besides Allah, who can do any of these things? Glory be to Him, and exalted be He above the shirk that these people commit. Mischief, the war between Roman and Persian empires, has appeared in the land, and the sea in consequence of man's own misdeeds. Through such wars, Allah makes people taste the fruit of their deeds, so that they may turn back from evil. O Prophet, tell them, travel through the earth and see what was the end of those who passed away before you. Most of them were mushrikeen, who worshipped other gods besides Allah. Therefore stand firm in your devotion to the true faith before that day arrives, on which there will be no chance of averting from Allah. On that day, they shall be divided in two groups. Those who disbelieved will bear the burden of their disbelief, and those who have done good deeds will be made ready for their home in paradise, so that He may, out of His mercy, reward those who have believed and done good deeds. Surely He does not like the disbelievers. Of His signs is that He sends the winds as bearers of good news, giving you a taste of His blessing, and your ships may sail by His command. and that you may seek of His bounty, and that you may be grateful. We sent before you Rasuls to their respective people, and they brought them clear signs. Some rejected them while others believed. Then we subjected the guilty ones to our retribution, and we aided the believers. It is due on us to help the believers. It is Allah who sends the winds to raise the clouds. Then He spreads them in the sky and breaks them into fragments as He pleases. Then you see raindrops falling from their midst. When He showers this rain upon those of His servants whom He pleases, lo, they are filled with joy, though before its coming they may have lost all hope. Just look at the traces of Allah's mercy, how He gives life to the earth after its death. Surely the same way He will give life to the dead, for He has power over all things. And if we send a wind which turns their crops yellow, behold, they will become even more firm in their disbelief. O Prophet, you cannot make the dead hear you, nor can you make the deaf hear your call, especially when they have turned their backs and are running away. Nor can you guide the blind out of their error. None will hear you, save those who believe in our revelations and submit themselves as Muslims. It is Allah who has created you in a state of helplessness as a baby, that gave you strength to come out of helplessness in youth, then after strength again helplessness and grey hair in old age. He creates whatever He wills, and it is He who is the all-knowing, the Almighty. On the day when the hour of judgment will be established, the criminals will swear that they did not stay in this world more than an hour. Thus are they ever deluded. But those who are given knowledge and faith will say, in fact, you have stayed, according to the book of Allah, till the day of resurrection, and this is the day of resurrection, but you are not aware. On that day, no excuse of theirs will avail the wrongdoers, nor will they be allowed to seek forgiveness. The fact is that we have set forth every kind of example for men in this Quran, but whatever sign you may bring, the unbelievers are sure to say, you are preaching falsehood. Thus Allah has set a seal on the hearts of those who do not use their common sense. So, O Prophet, have patience. Surely the promise of Allah is true, and do not let those who themselves have no certainty of faith shake your firmness. Surah Luqman. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the ever merciful. Alif Lam Mim. These are verses of the book of wisdom, a guide and a blessing for the righteous, who establish salah, give zakah, and firmly believe in the hereafter. These are on true guidance from their Rabb, and these are the ones who will attain felicity. Among the people there are some who purchase frivolous tales that they may lead people away from the way of Allah, without any knowledge, and take the invitation to the right way as a mockery. For such people there will be a humiliating punishment. When our revelations are recited to such a person, he turns his face away in arrogance, as if he did not hear them, or as if his ears are sealed. Announce to him the news of a painful punishment. As for those who believe and do good deeds, there will be gardens of delight wherein they shall live forever. The promise of Allah is true. He is the Almighty, the All-Wise. He created the heavens without visible pillars. He set mountains on the earth lest it should shake with you, and scattered through it all kinds of animals. We send down rain from the sky, with which we grow every type of noble species in pairs. This is Allah's creation. Now show me, what is there that others, gods besides Him, have created? In fact, the wrongdoers are in manifest error. Surah Luqman, Ayah 11.
See you.